So hi Trish, we're going to demonstrate how to do the complete tapping cycle. So what I'd like you to do is just take in a couple of deep breaths for me, and I want you to think about that craving for ice cream that you had before. I want you to think about, on a scale of 0 to 10, how intense that craving is. 0 being not at all, you don't need it, it's fine, and 10 being I will fight you for it.
An 8.
It's about an 8, so it's quite intense. All right. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to find that sore spot on your chest. It just feels like a bit of a sponge. It feels a bit like a little bruise. I mean, it's not agony. It just feels a bit uncomfortable. Rub that point, and as you rub there, I'd like you to say, even though I have this craving...
Even though I have this craving.
It's time to let it go.
It's time to let it go.
Even though I have this craving.
Even though I have this craving.
It's time to let it go.
It's time to let it go.
Even though I have this craving.
Even though I have this craving.
And I've had it for a long time.
And I've had it for a long time.
It's time to let it go.
It's time to let it go.
And then I'd like you to tap on the inside of the eye point, that's it, just on the bridge of the nose there, and say, I let this craving go.
I let this craving go.
On the outside of the eye, I let this craving go.
I let this craving go.
Underneath the eye, that's it, perfect. I let this craving go.
I let this craving go.
And just doing underneath the nose, perfect. I let this craving go.
I let this craving go.
Crease of the chin, I let this craving go.
I let this craving go.
That's it, great. Just on the chest for me, I let this craving go.
I let this craving go.
I don't need it anymore.
I don't need it anymore.
So now what I'd like you to do, Trish, is I'd like you to tap on the outside of the thumb, just on the outside of the nail. That's it, perfect. And as you tap there, just say, I let the craving go.
I let the craving go.
On the index finger, I let the craving go.
I let the craving go.
Now, if you had a feeling or an emotion attached to this, you'd be saying, I let the feeling and the craving, or just the craving. Okay, so you can interchange those two words. That's it. The middle finger, I let the craving or this feeling go.
I let the craving or this feeling go.
On the ring finger, I let the craving or this feeling go.
I let the craving go.
And then on the little finger, that's it. I let the craving go.
I let the craving go.
On the karate chop point, underneath the hand, that's perfect. I let that craving go.
I let that craving go.
I don't need it anymore.
I don't need it anymore.
The past is the past.
The past is the past.
Enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
I move on.
I move on.
I move forward.
I move forward.
I am stronger every day.
I am stronger every day.
I forgive myself for wanting ice cream in the past.
I forgive myself for wanting ice cream in the
It's
past.
over now.
It's over now.
I can do this.
I can do this.
I deserve to be healthy.
I deserve to be
I deserve to be slim.
I deserve to be slim.
I deserve to be healthy.
I deserve to be healthy.
Enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
The past is the past.
The past is the past.
I move on.
I move on.
I move forward.
I move forward.
I'm stronger every day.
I'm stronger every day.
I can do this.
I can do this.
Just take in a couple of deep breaths for me, and as you breathe out, I'd just like you to say, let it go.
I let it go.
And again, just breathing out for me, I let it go.
I let it go.
Twice more for me. That's it.
I let it go.
I let the craving go.
I let the craving go.
Okay. So just assess for me, Trish, on that scale of 0 to 10, how intense is there any of that craving left? 0 being not at all, 10 being extreme.
I would say maybe a 2.
Maybe a 2? All right. So what we're going to do is show how, if there is, after doing one of the complete cycles, if there is a little bit left at all, I'm just going to show you how to eliminate the rest of that. And to do that, we need to actually just balance the left and the right hemispheres of the brain. And we're going to do that in a very, very simple way. Okay? So our next step would be to roll the eyes up to the right and just say, I let it go.
I let it go.
Up to the left, I let it go.
I let it go.
Down to the floor on the right, I let it go.
I let it go.
Down to the floor on the left, I let it go.
I let it go.
Roll the eyes in a big circle one way. It's time to let it go.
It's time to let it go.
Back the other way. It's time to let this craving go.
It's time to let this craving go.
That's it, great. And just tapping back on the karate chop point for me, that's it. It's time to let this craving go.
It's time to let this craving go.
Enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
The past is the past.
The past is the past.
I move on.
I move on.
I move forward.
I move forward.
I am stronger every day.
I am stronger every day.
So now just take 3 deep breaths, and as you breathe out, I let it go for good.
I let it go for good.
That's it. And again.
I let it go for good.
And one more time.
I let it go for good.
And just assess how you're feeling, just on that scale of 0 to 10. Really think about it. If I had a plate of ice cream or a big bowl of ice cream right now, how would you feel? How much?
I actually don't want it. I can feel almost the fat from the ice cream in my mouth, so I don't want it.
Okay. Are you sure? What about your favourite flavour?
Not even chocolate. No.
Why? What happens? What's different?
There's almost a taste of that leftover grease in my mouth that is not pleasant.
Well done. So you've just learned how to control cravings, but it's about the tools are simple, but it's about you having the commitment to using them.
Yeah.
So this is obviously the longer demonstration of the full session, but we've also got the 30-second cheat sheets where you can do them in 30 seconds or the 60-second one, depending on how intense the craving is. So it really comes down to whether you choose to use them or not. And if there's any resistance to using them, tap on the resistance first. So instead of saying, I let the craving go, you would be saying, I let the resistance go. I'm resisting using the control techniques. I'm resisting doing the tapping. And if you let that go, you'll find that you can control anything in your future.
And so instead of doing the craving, I let the craving go would be I let the resistance go.
That's right, exactly the same. We'll show you exactly how now. So if you do that, tap on the inside of the eye, and you would simply say, I let the resistance go.
I let the resistance go.
On the outside of the eye, I let the resistance go.
I let the resistance go.
Underneath the eye, I let the resistance go.
I let the resistance go.
Underneath the nose, that's it. I let the resistance to helping myself go.
I let the resistance to helping myself go.
In the crease of the chin, I let the resistance to unzipping the fat suit go.
I let the resistance to unzipping the fat suit go.
On the chest, I let the resistance to letting go of ice cream go.
I let the resistance to letting go of ice cream go.
I don't need that anymore.
I don't need that anymore.
It's not helping me be healthy.
It's not helping me to
And
be
I choose
healthy.
to be healthy.
And I choose to be
Enough
healthy.
is enough.
Enough is enough.
The past is the
The
past.
past is the past.
And then you would simply move through those finger points that we've talked about before. The thumb, the index finger, the middle, the ring, and the little finger. And you'd end on the karate chop point. I let the resistance go. I don't need it anymore. So either way, whether you are having a craving or whether you're resisting doing the tools, there's ways to let go of the things that's stopping you from being slim and healthy.